This is a poll that was just taken. The Republicans. What are Republicans? What animates Republicans the most? And I mean, this is fluid, I would imagine. These are asked of Republican and lean Republican voters. Brendan, do you have this?
Yeah, this is Patrick Ruffini.
Wow.
He's a Republican pollster.
Yeah. And here it is. Question: how concerned are you, if at all, that the following are a problem for the country? According to Republicans, 81% say that illegal immigration is the biggest concern that the country faces. 59% extra. What does that mean? Extra concerned?
Extremely.
Oh, extremely concerned. So you're either very concerned or extremely concerned. 81%. Also, lack of support for the police. Does anybody see a theme here? Then high taxes. We are now living in an era of the lowest taxes, I think, that we have experienced as a country since the advent of the income tax in 1917, 13. I can't remember off the top of my head. So in the past 100 years, we have never had, maybe in the first couple of years, the income tax, but certainly not since World War II have we had lower taxes than we have today. High taxes, still an issue for Republican voters. Liberal bias in the mainstream media, as if they watch any of the mainstream media. The general moral decline of the country. Well, of course, I am shocked that Donald Trump was not able to provide us with a general moral incline in the country. And that is a shame. That ranks in at 74% are extremely or very concerned. And then socialism, 73% of Republicans are extremely or very concerned about socialism. I mean, that's a lot. And, it may explain why, or if it's a function of Republicans talking about how creeping socialism is, but this is the Republican Party. And remember, this is 81% immigration, 73% social, Antifa violence, 71%. Now understand, so much of these things are a function of what they're getting fed from their media and their politicians. I mean, it shows you how you can shape an electorate. Right? I mean,
well, that was exactly what I was going to say. When you look at the top concerns for Democrats, it's not going to be what you hear out of the Democratic politicians. I mean, I would be curious, say in 2017 or 2018, if they took a similar poll for the top concerns for Democratic voters and if Russia was the number one concern, because that was the number one thing we were hearing out of Democratic politicians, right? Often what you see is healthcare, other income inequality, other things like that, because the Democrats don't shape their electorate. They don't make their case to the media, and they don't pound these talking points into people's minds. I mean, this goes to show, one, I think the Republican electorate is more authoritarian in that way, more susceptible to that kind of propaganda, but two, just the persistence, it pays off. I mean, Antifa violence is one of the top 7 issues in the country. Liberal bias in the mainstream media is the 4th highest concern for Republican voters in the country.
I have a prediction. We should store this away, Brendan. Discrimination against Christians is only 57%. I think it's going to be, let's set the clock. Let's, October 24th. Somebody put it in their calendar. Brendan, maybe you could put it in my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look into this. I'm going to bet that discrimination against Christians is up closer to like in the 70s, maybe 70%, because we're going to get the attacks on Christians. I mean, it's like, that is where they will go. They'll move a little bit more culture. It'll be more about attacks on Christians, because that's,
Do you
more
think the Christian line still has as much cachet as that? Like, I mean, evangelicals are still a huge part of the voting base, but like, I don't know. After Trump,
I think your point, sorry, Brendan, go on.
No, that's pretty much what I was.
No. I was just going to agree that I think larger, like it's morphed into larger cultural issues. And I also want to point out there, I don't see COVID. Like that's the number one.
It's unbelievable.
That's the number one concern for Democratic voters. I'd imagine if we have, do they have the flip? But COVID's got to be the number one concern for Democratic voters. It's not even on the list here.
If that is the case, that and we'll check on that. The only pushback I would give you guys on that is that the reason why that is low is because Donald Trump delivered. And you didn't have, I mean, Donald Trump's not going to be out there as the titular leader of the Republican Party. He's not going to be bemoaning it that much, but they will go to it, because under Trump, we got to say Merry Christmas again, but that's going to be gone. And I say that partly in jest, but I'm telling you, that is what we're going to hear. He's already, I mean, I would be surprised if he doesn't come out at CPAC this weekend and say, like, did you notice I'm gone for 1 month and then you can't say Merry Christmas? When was the last time somebody said Merry Christmas?
I will counter. We're going to hear less of that because there's a white man as president.
That's possible, but
not Barack Hussein Obama.
We shall see. We shall see.